Now, I just want to put it out there because there are many reviews that's covering the Zhiyun Molus X60 RGB and also the original X60, and I don't think we acknowledge how well the design of these lights, the Molus X series of lights, and I think this particular video I want to address just that. First up, we never have seen a form factor looking like this as a professional lighting gear ever until the Molus X60 itself, or even arguably the Molus 100. And this is the most obvious difference between these lights and also the traditional studio lights that we are used to look. And that itself is the most obvious thing between the studio lights and the Molus X series of lights. Now, I personally think that this is quite a handsome looking light, right? But whenever I say well designed, I don't mean just how good looking the light is, but there is more to meets the eye, because a lot of the functionality created by Zhiyun is actually very well thought after. Like for instance, just like any other cameras, when we attach lens, there are indicators over here where we can then line it up, the dot on the dot, twist, and that's how we can actually link up the modifier to the proprietary ZY mount. Another way of actually mounting on it, like agak-agak lah, because a lot of times this light is up there somewhere and you got to eyeball it. So the branding is actually always facing outwards, and when you have a modifier like this one, all you got to do is, like, if the branding is going to be here, we almost know where to align the modifier to the light and then twist. So hopefully we do not need to always bring down the light just to put on the modifier. So that's one. Now, the light is designed to prevent accidental on, especially when you are keeping this package in the bag. Alright, a lot of times when we are using the light, we possibly leave the light as it is because it's quite a small package in the bag and you don't want it to be accidentally on. Like how they actually prevent it is through this on button, where it is a long hole and it goes into the menu. You just got to rotate the menu at least one time to get the light to turn on. So there's no accidental turn on while the light is being stored. But however, when we plug the light into a adapter, it turns on just automatically that way. Now, speaking about power adapter, there's more than one way. In fact, there's 3 ways to actually power on the Molus X60. One, of course, is this battery grip that comes together with the X60 Molus light. The other way is through USB-C power delivery. At the bottom right here, you have a Type-C port where if you have a power bank of say 100 watt, we are able to power on this light. And of course, the power adapter that ships together with the Molus X60 RGB, plug it in and you can have continuous light from the wall plug. Now, I want to also highlight these buttons that we have over here. These 3 buttons, and rather these are dials and buttons. They are pressable, clickable, and these are all stateless buttons. And why they are stateless is because we will be controlling the light via the ZY Vega app. Whenever there is any parameter change over from our app, settings will be in sync, and that's why we have stateless dials and also buttons. And I've got to say that between all these 3 buttons, it is intuitive navigation system of the light of the X60 RGB. You have the CCT mode that controls the bicolor of the light. You have the HSI and the RGB mode that controls the color of the light. You have effects, you have music mode, and all these dials and buttons cleverly navigate through all these modes quite easily. You have to try it yourself, because I tried recording myself explaining to you and I fall asleep actually editing those footages, so I'm not going to do that. I think one thing that people don't really notice is this detail that Zhiyun added into the light. So the top button over here is a stepless dial, whereas the bottom button over here is a step down, where there's a satisfying click on every single value change when I rotate the dial. And you may be wondering, why is this important? Because it's not obvious at all. And these are the small details that when you are not able to look at the LED screen and when you need to navigate through the menu blindly, the stepless dial and the step dial makes a difference. Now the bottom dial, which has the tactile feedback, navigates through the menu. Things that you cannot see on the LED, you know that one click, it goes to the next menu or so. Now, the majority of the control of the stepless dial is to control things that's visible, like the hue, what color the light is, and also the intensity of the light. Let's do a demo, shall we? I mean, let's hold up the light slightly above my head, and from here I cannot read the LED. I do not know what mode it is, the light that's in. I could think that this is in RGB, I could think that this is in HSI, and I've got to bet it is in HSI. And I'm thinking maybe the first dial, the top dial, when I turn, it will tell me what I'm controlling, which is the brightness. Then I know I'm in HSI mode. So if it's the brightness, I'm going to do a one turn, the tactile feeling on the menu, which then tells me that this is the hue of the HSI mode, where I can change the color by rotating clockwise. It goes to green and then it goes to blue, or I could just simply press the button where it increment by 120 degrees at every single time. Now, of course, if I were to clock it anti-clockwise, one click from the bottom down, do again, and I know it is again brightness. So without actually looking at the LED, I could like blindly control the light and sort of like guesstimate where the light is. And a lot of time this light will be mounted like higher, and you don't want to be taking it down and change the settings and put it back up. So this is one of those design that I think a lot of people can appreciate when using this light. I really think that we glossed through a lot of all these small little detail that Zhiyun put it into the Molus X60 RGB light, and I thought I would let you know. So what do you guys think about this little design detail that Zhiyun put into the Molus X60 RGB for us to be actually using? I really like the idea that they actually know how we are going to be using the light, and they catered the design based on that. So thank you for watching this episode of Afterwork Gear Review. I hope this video gave you more information of the Molus X60 RGB by Zhiyun, and well, do what you may with it, that info. Alright guys, thank you for watching. See you guys on the next video. Take care.